We're here at Digital Hollywood Fall 2013 with Paul Ham, who's CEO of Endava, and you'll tell us a little bit more about the company.
Sure. We are a next generation TV platform, so we basically help TV broadcasters, content providers, distributors create new TV services over the web, essentially. So we provide all of the back-end content management, delivery, publishing management, as well as front-end applications and websites. We provide all of those services to those types of companies. So companies that want to build, like Netflix, that type of service, we provide everything that's needed to build that kind of service.
So how many of the 400 plus nationally distributed cable networks and broadcasting networks in the U.S. actually have this service?
Well, I don't know how many of them have that. I primarily work with international companies. For instance, my largest client is Dubai Media out of Dubai. We are beginning to work with smaller telcos and cable companies in the U.S. I think they're all looking into it for sure. I mean, you have the big companies like AT&T, Uverse, and Verizon Fios. These are representations of this type of business. And now even the smaller to mid-sized telcos and cable companies are beginning to get into over-the-top, in addition to linear, broadcast streaming.
And also, interestingly enough, those are, when you look at MSOs, those are the smaller ones.
Right.
So I would say probably Dish and DirecTV would not be so keen on doing that, in terms of allowing their networks to do that today.
Yeah, and Dish and DirecTV are more pure TV broadcasters, so they're not also providing broadband services and other services that an MSO does. So there's a real benefit for a broadband provider, in addition to delivering broadcast TV, to deliver over-the-top services, because that enhances the use of broadband, etc. So there's a lot of added benefit that maybe a Dish or DirecTV wouldn't get. And
also some of the international companies would also see the benefit, because interactive television has been in effect available globally in many countries prior to the U.S.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things we talk about on our panel today is that in some of these other markets, they don't have the regulatory, the cable legacy, the infrastructure issues that we have here in the U.S., which create a lot of problems with taking content and making it available on iPads and other devices. Whereas in Dubai, for instance, many of those legacy issues don't exist. So they are free to do really a lot of good, cool things, which is what we help them do. So we're very happy to help them do that, of course.
Or if you go to France or UK or some of these other countries, Hong Kong, there are interactive television companies that have sort of forged the path already towards getting the regulatory approval.
True. I mean, a lot of countries have sort of leapfrogged the U.S. in terms of being able to deliver a lot of these types of services.
Yeah, when we talk about the U.S. market and mobile, we always say other countries are ahead of us, but really interactive TV, they're way ahead of us.
Agreed.
And so your services are really global.
They are. Most of our business is outside the United States, so primarily the Middle East, Latin America. We do a little bit in Europe, but we are beginning to do more and more in the U.S. as these barriers are beginning to come down.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you for sharing this with our audiences. We've seen a lot of YouTube channels. I think a lot of this content will be migrating to networks that you're building.
That's what we hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah. Really great company. When did you start it?
I actually sort of landed into it.